Welcome to Chronically Healthy Life Show. When you hear the word chronically, do you automatically associate it with chronic disease? We all do. It's been programmed right into us. But what if we flip that whole idea on its head? Let's discover how we can create chronic health in our bodies, our minds, our finances, our relationships, and of course, in our lives. Let's jump right on in. I'm Andy, and joining me is my life partner in all things, Minna.
So we were backstage talking about health scares. Why don't you tell the audience about what happened last week since you disappeared on us?
Yes. So talking about health scares and talking about family because family is so important. Well, at least for most people anyway. My brother's, my older brother, dear brother of mine, he's probably been suffering type 2 diabetes for over 20 years. And rather than making lifestyle changes, he totally dependent on Western medicine and has been taking medication over the last 20 years. And of course, over time, Western medication, you're going to need more and more with side effects and stuff like that. So he ended up doing dialysis 2 years ago. And last Saturday, he calls me first thing in the morning. Hey, I'm going in for a kidney transplant. And, we are in Houston. My family's in Vancouver. And he says, you need to come up now. And of course, I drop everything Sunday morning. I found the earliest flight that I can fly out. And off I was going to Vancouver. My brother's 70 years old. He's been in Vancouver almost all his life, and he can't speak English. So going into the hospital, not being able to speak English, not knowing what they're doing for all these tests and stuff like that, um, it was probably a nightmare for him.
Well, it's nightmare for not just him, right? I mean, he's the one that's suffering physically, but actually the whole family suffers with it.
Oh, for sure. Emotionally wise, it was an emotional roller coaster for all of us. Because, for kidney transplants, I don't know if people hear about it. Usually it can go one of two ways. If you get a live donor, like a perfect match from a family member or something, you could be in and out of the hospital the next day. But, he had a very rare blood condition,
But
blood type, and so, he had to wait for a better match. And well, he got a what's considered a cadaver kidney, one that's been iced for 8 to 10 hours before it was put into his body. And it was hit and miss for the first 4 or 5 days because nothing was happening. Like the kidney wasn't doing anything. And, so he was scared, I was scared, and I'm trying to translate all this stuff the doctors are telling him. And yeah, like you said, it was tough on everyone. But like, it's these health scares that make you really wonder, this didn't happen overnight.
it doesn't, like you said, your brother's been having diabetes for 20 some odd years.
Exactly.
And because you don't make any changes, eventually you become more dependent on the medication and it's going to stop working and you take more and eventually your kidney gives out.
Exactly. And it's just a short 5 years ago, and me and Minna were always joking about this. Is like I told him, hey, you need to change your diet, you need to eat more veggies and stuff like that. And just a short 5 years ago, when everything was still okay, he wasn't even on dialysis yet. He says, I'd rather die than go eat vegetarian. Well, his life, his dream almost came true. And the irony of it now is he is doing everything I'm telling him to do now. Like he is so scared, but if he only done that a little earlier.
Yeah, and I guess going forward, you would hope that he's going to keep doing what he's supposed to do as opposed to going back to his old ways.
Oh, for sure. And I think a lot of people, they really need to think about this because diabetes, like cancer, our guest is going to be coming up. She's going to be talking about cancer, so I'm not going to talk about cancer. But diabetes is one of the fastest growing chronic diseases that people are getting, and it starts with just insulin resistance. People just having too much sugar, and probably 70%, and I'm just pulling this number off my head, but I'm sure I read it somewhere, is pre-diabetic right now in USA and probably even in Canada. And when you're pre-diabetic, you just a rock and a skip away before you become type 2 diabetic. And even now is like we have another family member that's type 2 diabetic. I'm not going to name names, but definitely another family member. And I was talking to him, and his doctor is just giving him medication, and they're not telling him what he can do to reverse it. They tell you once you have it, it's for life, and that is just untrue, you know.
Yeah, I mean, because I was pre-diabetic for what 12 years,
Yeah, so am
right?
I. Like we're all, you know. So
Yeah, so it's it's we're prone to it, but it doesn't mean you have to have it. There's lifestyle choices that we can make earlier on so that we will never get to the point that we would need, kidney transplant, dialysis, and all that, right? So
exactly,
there are things you
exactly.
can do.
Exactly. So, one of the things that I think, we really want people to understand, like, the whole purpose of the show is, I guess, to bring, what's the word I'm thinking of?
Awareness.
Awareness. Yes. Like awareness to how your body's feeling. Your body is always telling you something is going on. Right. Because I was just talking to a client of mine today, and he said, yeah, my dad died from cancer. And he says, he, no, no one told him how to do the changes, and by the time he found out, even when he wanted to do the changes, it was too late. And I was saying, well, for most cases, these things don't happen overnight. If he wanted to make changes, he could have, if he went looking for it, because your body, you're going to have some type of pains, you're going to have some type of discomfort, something's going on. You just have to be more aware and listen to your body for these signs.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of times that no one's going to tell you what to do. You have to figure out because it's your body, it's your health, so you have to take control of it.
Exactly. And you really need to find some, health practitioners and coaches that can help you along the way. Your health is your responsibility. Find a good doctor that's willing to work with you. But, you have to have that mindset. That doctor's not there to keep you healthy or to cure you. Your health is really all on you.
All right, so we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we'll have a biohack and then our amazing guest.
Yes.
A life empowered is closer than you think. We're all looking for a better way. Reimagine what's next with a new sense of exuberance. Why not power on like you mean it? Or power off blissfully? A better sleep is a better awake. You've never moved like this before. The energy nature intended. Imagine reprogramming the way you look at the speed of science. At longevity. At exhilaration. It's next level rejuvenation. Take control of your well-being from the inside out and outside in. The light within is ready to ignite. Be the light. LifeWave.
Welcome to Chronically Healthy Life. Now, in our biohacking segment today, because the weather is turning a little bit colder, I figure we would do some, make a chai tea, which is warming It has a lot of warming spices, and it just makes you feel comfortable in wintertime. So chai tea is very complex. It has a lot of Indian spices, and you don't have to use all of them. I would recommend you take a smell at it. If it's something that you don't like, just don't use it. So the first thing you have to do is to get some black tea. Typically, they use some Assam tea or something that's really black. I have some pu'er tea from China before that I have in my pantry. So I have one tablespoon of these. So let's start that first. So put the tea in a pot, one tablespoon of black tea, and I have some hot water, 2 cups of hot water. So let's get the tea brewing first. While that's done, let's talk about the spices. Now, I have here a lot of spices. So I have in powder form cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, and coriander. It's about a 1/4 teaspoon of those. So let's put those aside. I also have ginger juice, which is about a 1/4 teaspoon also. You can use fresh ginger, so just grate a little bit, about 1/4 teaspoon, and that would actually give you great flavor. I also have this is called cascara fruit, which is actually a coffee berry. So typically with chai tea, you don't use coffee, but I want to make it a little more complex, more interesting, and actually Chinese people like to add coffee and tea together. So I'm going to add those two into my chai tea. And I also have 1 cup of A2 whole fat milk. So I use A2 because of it doesn't have the casein that regular whole milk does. And of course, this is grass pasture fed, the good stuff. So here I have allspice and black peppercorns. I have like 3 or 4 pots of each. All right, so milk always got my cats up. So I have 1 star anise, and I have 4 pots of the cardamom pots. So you want to ground that up just a little bit, just so that it has all the flavors. And I also have a vanilla bean. So with the vanilla bean, you want to cut it up, split it up so that, just be careful, don't cut yourself. So I'm going to cut it up so that the inside of the bean shows up. And also have a cinnamon stick. And the last thing, yes, that's the last thing. This is about a 1/3 cup of honey. Now with chai tea, because it's so complex, it's so flavorful, I do prefer to have it a little bit more sweet than I normally would take my tea. So this is 1/3 cup of honey for me. And you can adjust it however you want it. So all you have to do really is just to put everything in with the tea. Vanilla bean, cinnamon, cascara, and all these spices that you ground up. And 1 cup of milk. And if you don't like cow's milk, you can use any kind of non-dairy milk. Coconut milk, soy milk, almond milk, they all work great. So put in the milk. So all you have to do is bring it to a slow boil. So make sure you don't boil over because it has milk in it and you can easily boil over. So just bring it to a small boil, a low heat boil, and let it simmer for about 15-20 minutes. So I'm going to do that, and we'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right, so now the chai tea has been simmered for a while. So all you have to do is put it through a strain. So strain it because you have so many spices on it. There you go. And you can probably reuse those spices 1 more time maybe, just so you don't waste it. And that's all you need to do. pour into a cup. And this would be a warming cup of chai tea. See you next week.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. I'm Christy Boyd Johnson, and I am very, very pleased to introduce you to our lovely guest today, Sandy Duarte.
Thank you.
She is an award-winning actress who recently added stage 4 cancer survivor to her remarkable life journey. In addition to her work in the creative arts, Sandy is passionate about the healing arts through various modalities such as yoga, breathwork, meditation, and sound bathing to promote wellness and resilience. By blending her talents in film and literature with her commitment to the healing arts, Sandy empowers individuals to find strength and community in their struggles, to find purpose through pain, demonstrating how overcoming mental barriers can lead to powerful results in physical healing. Welcome, Sandy.
Thank you. I was so excited. I wanted to just jump in. Thank you, Christy. I'm like, forget the bio.
we like to introduce our guests to our audience, but yeah, I'm ready to jump in too.
Thank you for that.
You have quite an amazing journey story. Would you share with us how you got to learning how to find purpose through pain?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Do we have enough time? My gosh, it's being shocked that you're told you have cancer and then making a choice. So we're talking backstage and chatting about how the heck did I know I got cancer? Well, I thought I had a bad cold. I thought I had pneumonia, bronchitis, whatever it was. And I had a cough and I just didn't, take it serious. I thought it was one of those things, got antibiotics, nothing worked. A month or two or so, whatever passes. And I finally decided to speak to my doctor and say, let's see what's up with my lungs. Let's get an MRI or something. Like, what's going on? I was declining really badly. Like to the point where I couldn't even walk up a hill. I was like, there's something wrong with my lungs. I'm convinced. The MRI comes back and my doctor calls me with that voice that you hear in the movies. It's only bad news when you hear that voice. And she goes, forget the lung. There's a big mass that's showing on the thing. They want to see you again. I'm like, okay. I go back to do another MRI. I'm like, let's do this. And again, the doctor calls me and says, this is beyond me. You've got to go to the hospital immediately. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So I basically not super rush, but I get over to the hospital the next day because I'm still not taking this serious. And what's going on, right? And I never left. That was March of this year. I was in 2 weeks of a blitz of basically every kind of biopsy and thing to find out what it was until we figured out what it was, what cancer. And then I ended up starting my chemo treatments. That's it in a nutshell there. And I was shocked. I got cancer. There's never a way to digest that.
No, there isn't. There's no way to digest. It's like, what?
I literally, like when my oncologist, one of them came in and said that, I literally dropped the F word. I'm like, what the F? Like,
Yeah.
And I took a moment to be like, what? Like this, what? And then you have to somehow transcend that why, and just move on and say, why not? Now let's figure out what the journey is going to be and what's the choice.
Well, let's go down just a little bit here. So you chose, and I'm a big believer in people knowing their options and choosing what's right for them. And so you chose chemo. What made you decide to choose chemo, and how did that work for you?
And listen, I want to say off the bat, every cancer story and journey is very unique, very different. There's never one that's quite the same. And so I respect people, like we were chatting about your incredible journey, that make their own choices. I was at a stage where I almost had no choice. I had a huge mass. It was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I had a 10 by 15 mass across my left side chest that fortunately took out my left lung. It squashed my lung. I had one lung. And so it was so rapid, there was no choice. And I think we were chatting about this. I kind of got the cancer lottery in a way, because my cancer didn't require surgery. It was really in my chest. It would have been really morbid, my doctor said. But my cancer lymphoma responds very well to chemo, like a moth to a flame. And so the science and the stats and everything given to me, I said, let's do it. I was ready for anything. Let's go. I'm ready to move along. And so I chose that because it was, maybe it chose me, it was the best option for me. There was no other way with this rapid moving thing that was making me, I was already deteriorating. And so chemo was the way for me.
Yes. And I mean, if you couldn't even walk up a hill, if you
No.
couldn't breathe, that's pretty serious.
It was bad. It
Yeah.
was really bad, Christy. It was it was insanely bad. I look at myself now and I get emotional when I come up my hill. I can't even say it without getting emotional. I get emotional that I get to walk and climb and stuff, because I had to deal with my cancer, right? But then I had to deal with the fact that I was told I could live with one lung, and I didn't accept that in my mind. I'm like, I'm not going to live with one lung. And that's a whole other story that, I'll follow your lead, that I'm happy to share as well.
Oh, well, actually, I'd like to know. That's another choice, that pushing you towards something that you didn't want is not okay. Like, you didn't want to have a lung removal, so were you, obviously you successfully stood up to them, but did they make it hard on you, or was it pretty easy for you to say no?
The situation that the doctors were dealing with was how to get all the liquid out of my body, because the lung was collapsed, and also dealing with the cancer. So, I believed that somehow the lung, it was showing a black on the scans. And then I had one remarkable night where it was like, after 2 weeks of every procedure you can imagine, they stripped me from all the stuff, and I was able to take a shower, and I felt so incredible. I stayed in the shower for so long, and I said, this is going to be my moment where I talk to my body, and I tried to encourage my body. I just had an emotional, esoteric, spiritual, private moment, finally water beating down on me. And I sat in the shower for a good hour, and I talked to my body. I really believe you can encourage your body through the power of your mind to do things, and I'm not hippy dippy about it, because I also believe in science and believe I had needed my chemo. I believe that things can coexist with wisdom if you're wise. So I sat there and I talked to my right lung, and I said to my right lung, I said, your sister's gone. Like, she's gone, man. I write about this in my book. I said, we got to help her out. Let's help your sister, meaning the left side friend here. I said, we need to help. I'm here to guide you, support you. I talked like this, like a friend. And nurses kept coming in going, she's still in the shower, like, I'm just in there. Long story short, about 20 minutes into my shower, Christy, I kid you not, I felt life come out of my left nostril. And as soon as I felt the rubbish, the stuff come out of I said, there's life in my left lung. It made me so emotional. I came out and I told my nurse, I said, my left lung is going to be okay. I talked to my lung. And long story short, with the help of the doctors and getting the liquid and everything else, the point is, my lung is back. I have 2 lungs.
Woohoo! Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Christy, I didn't make any of this stuff up. It's not like I'm here to, this is a new idea. The Dr. Dispenzas of the world and all these great minds are so studied in this beautiful esoteric nature of communicating to your body in a different way. They go listen to them. They know how to digest deeply into this. I'm giving you my simpleton form of my experience and how you can connect to your body, talk to your body. You got this. I love you. I'm here to help you. And the lung figured it out. I'm telling you, I'm here.
I absolutely agree. I think I talk to my animals. I'm a big advocate for kids, and I'm like, you communicate with kids. They get it. Yeah. You can't, they, and etc. And your body too. I've heard it said, and I really like this, that we are not physical bodies with a soul inside. We are a soul with a physical body. And when you shift into that mentality, all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, I'm way more than I seem to be, appear to be, and then it opens up these doors.
Yeah.
And that powerful choice you made, powerful choices are really a wonderful key to, I mean, because you must have just been scared and
Yeah.
sad and, worried and not knowing what you're going to be facing.
Yeah.
And how long did it take you to, from when you found this out and ended up in a hospital that you didn't
Oh my
leave?
gosh. Well, I call it a 2-week blitz. I went in March. I believe it was March 22 of this year.
Mhm.
And I was 2 weeks of every procedure you can imagine with your eyes open, like a biopsy where this long thing goes right into your chest and they were pulling out specimens. I mean, my team was amazing. It was a 2-week blitz, and then immediately it was chemo, and I finished my chemo July of this year, 6 long rounds. Yeah.
So March, April, May, June, July, 4 months.
Mhm.
Is that 4, 5, somewhere
Yeah.
between 4 and 5 months, and you cured it. You cured it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And not by myself. I really, how do I say this? It takes a lot of prayer, meditation, a lot of good faith, a visiting, having a ritual of visiting. Where's that sacred place that you can tap into and pray and just believe? Yeah. And also I had a great team. My hospital was never closed-minded to all the things I brought up. They brought the science, and I would give them prescriptions like, doctor, you need to take this turkey tail. This is good for your life. They were always open and receptive to what I did on my downtime. So when you can find that in this Western society, you found gold. I was at All of You Medical. A lot of UCLA fine minds up there. And I'm in California, and some of the finest minds, and I'm grateful because never did they look at me like I was a crazy person. It was always like, okay, do this, do that, take those supplements, do that in between. It was a beautiful marriage. I'm really, really lucky. But you have to believe. You have to believe. You have to come out of the dark, and it takes a lot of work, and you just have to lean on love and faith. Just will it. It did not listen, and I'm not here to give you toxic positivity. There's real death and suffering and cancer. There's people with my cancer that didn't make it. I know that. I know that from my personal life, people around me. But how do we choose to make that journey, right? How do we support the journey? And we can support it with our mind, whether the outcome is closed door or an open door. How are you going to arrive there? That makes things a little bit better. Yeah.
And besides your team, I'm assuming you had a strong support system in place.
Yeah.
Friends, family. Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful family, friends, and faith. I'd always go to my favorite spot to meditate. The Self-Realization Fellowship near me, and a beautiful place of just being in meditation gardens and being around great vibrations and just be in nature. It's all the things. Believe, you find your way. It's
Yes.
It's scary.
And so our break is coming up, but I want to ask you really quickly.
Yes.
Did you find that there were certain things that you made changes that will be permanent changes for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Less sugar, being conscious of sugar. I'm very conscious. I put a little bit of honey in my tea. Does it mean I don't eat cake? I do, but I'm more conscious. There's so much sugar in everything. Look at it. A lot of juicing fresh vegetables, getting your greens. You got to feed your cellular life inside of you. And being conscious of all those modalities. Sound bathing. I would do my crystal bowls for myself. Sound has the ability to eradicate crazy cells that aren't working properly. You know what I mean? I'm not a doctor, so this is my digestion of what's going on out there, So yeah, and finding more peace and tranquility in your life. Who is in your life? And are they causing you stress? So it's a whole bunch of things of seeing what is your life about. And how do you create more harmony with your diet, your mind, your everything? So it's a whole stew. It's a whole brew.
It is. And I'm quite sure everybody has experienced this when they've gone through something. It's like that old phrase of you find out who your friends really are. And that includes your family, like who in your family is really there for you and who disappears. and it
Yeah.
was a good time, Charlie, and who's really there.
Yeah.
And that makes a big difference. That's good to know.
Lean on love and be open
Yep.
to vulnerability. I wanted to be very private, and I was very private about the journey, but when I cracked open a little bit and a little bit, it's incredible how wonderful community shows up for you, and how it's really important. You have to lean on love in all shapes and forms, in human
Absolutely.
form, in nature form, and in whatever it is that is the power of love around us in this universe.
Absolutely. Let's pause here.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody stay tuned. We'll be right back after this quick message.
Thank you.
Imagine a life where every day is fueled by energy, vitality, and purpose. Where age is just a number and your best years are always ahead. Hi, I'm Andy Nam, certified functional nutrition longevity coach, best-selling author, and international speaker. After reversing my own chronic health struggles, I'm now on a mission to help you live longer, stronger, and of course to look younger. I combine biohacking, cutting-edge nutrition, and stem cell technology to unlock your body's full potential. So no matter where your starting point is, I'm going to guide you toward a chronically healthy life. Ready to reverse aging and take control of your future? Connect with me today. Your journey to longevity starts here.
Hi, I'm Christy Boyd Johnson. And if you are ready to change your child's education out of this model and into this model, then I'm right there with you. Give me a call or email me and let's chat and let's do this together, because when we team up, we're unstoppable. Barefoot Learning Club, foundation plus imagination equals genius. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Chronically Healthy Life Show. We're here with our guest, Sandy Duarte. So let's get into the juicy, because I think I have advocated for this for many years, and I'm so happy to hear you talking about marrying not only Eastern and Western medicine, but everything else, all the other elements that make us up as humans, spirituality, acknowledging our emotions, our environment, who's around, the people in our environment, everything matters. Mm-hmm. So how did you start becoming aware that you needed to become aware of those kinds of things as you went through this?
I don't know. I think I have to say I've lived a life of awareness, and it's a progressive thing. It didn't come out of left field. It's sort of like compound interest in how you've lived your life. So I'm happy about that. Cancer was a strange gift that deepened it. Just it illuminated things from a different point of view. And so it just deepened the realization of how important and how short life is even more, and how precious it is, and how you are the guardian of your own life. What are you allowing through your door, through your TV, through your screen? What are you feeding your mind, your soul? It's all choices we make. So I'm very tough on that. You know what I'm saying? Like if something doesn't sound right, work right, feel right, I'm not going to do it. Not anymore. It's on my terms now, because you can bleed your heart dry by staying too open to everything around you, not having boundaries. So it's like, I don't know if this is answering your question, but yeah, that's a roundabout way to say something. Yeah.
No, it's true, because have you ever heard this? Don't be so open-minded that your brains fall out.
I've never heard of that before. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, no.
But I agree with you. I don't watch television. I don't watch news. I don't watch commercials. I don't want to hear any of the garbage. I just don't. And what a shift there's been in everything since. And it's been a long time. I mean, it's been quite a few years that I've got, it takes a little getting used to, but then, but it's what you let in. You have to be discerning, and who you let in. Yes.
Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be so hard and so cutthroat. It's like you got to live your life, enjoy. I love, I'm in the TV film industry. I love it so much. There's great stuff out there. What I'm saying is, what are you choosing? What is the conscious choice as soon as you wake up, or as soon as you get home? Is the TV on and there's no thought, no reflection on your day? It's like, how are you consciously enjoying all the beautiful tools in our world? Rather than you being the tool in the world. I don't want to be the tool. I want to enjoy all of life's amazing things, but not be subject to all the noise. So it's just making the right choices. What noise do I want to entertain and enjoy on my terms?
That's powerful. That's a powerful, powerful message, because when we do that, we aren't just saying to everybody, go away. We're making clear choices, but it brings other people up as well.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I'm just gonna, you have a movie that's on Amazon Prime right now called Cherry.
I do.
Yeah. So how cool is that?
Thank you. And I got to play a doctor, not an oncologist, but I love the industry. I love any form of art that extends some hope, some joy, something, a message. And you can find that in whatever you choose in life. What is your message? What are you trying to do in any form or medium? But yeah, it's called Cherry. I believe it's still on Amazon. And Sophie Galibert was our director, and it was an incredible time. It was shot, feels like many moons before cancer, in 2022 during COVID. And it was a joy. It's an extension of expression that I enjoy very much.
Oh, that's wonderful. And imagine what's coming next for you. I mean, all good things.
Yes.
So what are you moving into now? You've healed.
Yeah.
You're getting better every day.
Yeah.
What are you moving towards now?
Oh my gosh, I've moved towards, and not by choice, but by it had to happen. I wrote a book. And my book is called Cancer Ramblings: From Why to Why Not, Navigating the Absurdity of Life and Cancer. And so I never intended, Christy, to journal about this, because I thought there's so many stories about cancer. Who needs my story? Like why do we need another journal about cancer? I did not want to do it. And then, long story short, I had to do it. And I started writing from the moment that my journey started till the discovery that I am the clear. And through that, it was a way through the arts, through the power of the pen to paper or keyboard, I was able to find light in the aloneness of sometimes the room that I'm in, because I'm not always around people. There's a lot of time to yourself. And I just started to ramble off whatever it is that I was just feeling, what I was experiencing, what I was sensing. And what I call it is right to the light. As I was writing, it was helping me digest this absurdity of my life, the dark, scary pockets, the sad, the joy, and kind of put it out there. I felt like I was writing to somebody. And so now the book is completed. It debuts, it comes out January 28th, and pre-sale mid-January. And I intend for this to be a little candle in the cave for people, because, we're all different types of people. Not everybody's going to be like me or like you. Sometimes we all need a little love and support. So I hope that this can just bring some light to those lonely rooms that cancer can be. And also for the people, the family, the friends. And I'll say one more thing. My book transcends cancer. It's almost like a Zen in the art of archery, where sure, you're reading about the archery, but it's anything but the archery. It's about the esoteric nature, the whole thing about following your journey and having faith and trust and letting go. And so the book is meant to serve. So I hope it serves you guys out there that are looking for some hope in the world, in your life.
So I feel like generally people tend to, they get some negative news and they tend to react. I'm going through this with my mom right now. She's 86. She's got macular degeneration, and I took her a month ago, and she had to have these shots in her eyes, which completely freaked her out. But we got her through it, and we're big on the LifeWave stem cell patches, and I patch her all the time. And today, I took her back, and she didn't have to have any more injections. One round, and she didn't, and she's better. And so She was like, I was all prepared for them to stab my eyes again. And
Oh,
I'm like, well, do you want to go out to lunch and celebrate or something?
oh my gosh.
But my point is that through this, as we were talking, she kind of realized like she did better this time. She didn't get all upset.
Yes.
She didn't work herself up into a frenzy. She goes, I've always worked myself up into a frenzy over something before I know what I'm dealing with. And so I'm wondering for you, I mean, the initial reaction has to just be like a slap, shock.
Yeah.
What? You kind of just like freeze, like what? So as you progress through into your ramblings, what happened for you? How
Oh
did
my
you?
gosh. It was the moment that I chose radical acceptance, and I just thought, okay, forget asking why, or when people, how can this happen to you? You're so healthy. Oh, you teach and you do yoga. Okay, like all these things that make you wonder, I'm never going to know why cancer came to me, but it was a great friend, and I'm grateful to this year, and I'm grateful to my cancer. I'm telling you, it was a temporary relationship. And and it was the moment that I heard the news that I allowed myself the 24 hours to be like, okay, like, and then I realized, let it go, which came into why not me? Life is going to keep throwing stuff at us. Why not? I'm strong enough. I can do this. I can do cancer. I can fall down and get up. I can climb a mountain. Why not cancer? So as soon as I forgot the why, stopped wondering and ruminating, forget it. I'm never going to have the answers. Why is the sky blue? I don't know. Well, maybe we do know, but you know what I'm saying. So I let it go. And then as soon as I was in why not, it transformed me into a place of empowerment. And then from empowerment, you have the courage and confidence to now navigate your body as the captain of its ship, to get it going forward. And then through that, there's still some choppy waters through the journey. Believe me, some scary times where you pray hard, because you're rebuilding your life and you're wondering, what is after this? And guess what's after that? You trust the path. You keep writing, you keep digesting, and somehow the words make sense of you. And you come out on the other side and you go, wow, that happened. How did I end up cancer free and now with a sweet book to share with the world? Trust the process sometimes, and trust pain, because sometimes pain is your best teacher. And if you find purpose in that, you can be pleasantly surprised. It's just stay open, with your mind. Don't automatically think it's a death sentence. It could be, and it could maybe not be. Who knows? But if you already gave up on yourself, then how is there hope around you? You have to stay hopeful and strong. I don't know if this answers your question, but the writing was absolute therapy. It was writing to the light. Every time I wrote, it was for me, but it was not for me. It was for you guys. And so that's the sense of purpose I got back through this absurdity of this major pause. And then you get your life back somehow. I don't know if that makes sense.
I know, I love that. Trusting the process, because there are times when you feel like you're on your path, but it is so like you're in a tunnel and there's no light. And you're just like, just one step out, you just keep taking step after step, and you just trust. That and then you get, when you start seeing the light in however that comes out, in whatever thing you're dealing with, because we deal with everything all the time, then it's I did it. I got through it. And
yeah. And you can. And not that everybody does. Cancer is still quite the killer, but we're living in a different time where it no longer is the word cancer a death sentence. It's different. It's a different time. We're really lucky through the advancements in information that we have and the choices that we have. So just have faith, be strong, and carry on. And, that way, whatever is at the end, at least you enjoyed the journey towards it. Do you know what I mean?
That is the formula for all life.
Yeah.
Because, if you look at a dog, they enjoy every single moment. They just, they're not thinking, oh, I'm going to live only, 15 years and then
Yes.
leave my human. They're just loving you and enjoying.
Yes.
And there's a lesson in that, right?
There is. And then you can also reverse things. And I thought to myself, gosh, I've never had such a long vacation. All I got to do is sleep, rest, and just be. It was a forced imposed sort of deep meditative place. And how do you view it makes the difference. And I look back, Christy, I swear to you, I look back and I think 2025 better knock my socks off, because 2024 blew me away. It was, through the pain and fear, there's so much transformative beauty. And so what is your mind directing you to? At the end of the day, choose. Why not? Why not me? I can do this. Just have some faith and believe.
I love that. Oh, this is a fantastic. I love the shift in your perspective. That is just beautiful.
I mean it. Thank you, Christy.
Yes, I can tell you mean it. Listen, how can people reach out and find you?
Very simple, cancerramblings.com. You'll see a lot about me there, wellness, the cancer, the creativity, all that stuff. Just reach out, and then a few other channels like Instagram, Twitter, but go on cancerramblings.com. Made it simple.
Good. And the QR code goes to the book, your book, Cancer Ramblings.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So guys, get that, pre-order that. That's going to be an amazing. I actually know Sandy's publisher, good friend of mine. So it's going to be a very wonderful thing.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much, you and Andy and Minna. And gosh, I want to talk more with you because you have quite the story too. But anyway, another time we need to chat more. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, guys, everybody.
Thank you for sharing. You have your beautiful soul. Really, honestly, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, stay tuned. Coming up next is Kids Corner. Hey, everybody, welcome to Kids Corner. Well, here we are, smack dab in the middle of the 2024 holiday season. Okay, so I know you're probably going shopping, cooking, cleaning, wrapping, and holiday parties and many, many other things. But when it comes to the kids, even if whether they're in school still, out of school, or whatever the situation is, I would encourage you to find ways to include them in the prep. Let me give you some examples. Now, this is assuming your kids are old enough. Obviously, very, very small children, this does not apply. But kids who are old enough, 5 and up, say, for example, what if you let the kids help you decorate the holiday cookies? Bake and decorate. Who cares if they're kind of wonky and weird? If the kids get to create them and let them have fun with that, isn't that a really cool thing? And if you are the one having a holiday party, why not set up a kids decorating station and let the kids go to it with decorating their cookies? It's a great activity. I've been at parties where the kids just loved it. They had a little table, they had all these different colored icings. They could pick the shape of the cookie they wanted, which were all already baked, of course, and just got to decorate and play and have fun. I even saw one group of kids make a puppet show out of their cookies. It was adorable. So why not let them help you wrap gifts? If the bows let them tie bows. If they're a little wonky, so what? It's part of the fun. I just can't help but feel that if we get locked into our own perfectionism, we lose a lot of the joy. And kids are only little for a very short time. Well, I should say young for a very short time. And let's enjoy it. Let's celebrate it. Let's enjoy. Let's just be present and have fun. And who cares if the star on the top of the tree is a little cockeyed? It's okay. Everything's okay. The most important thing for all of us, as we talk about on the Chronically Healthy Life show all the time, is connection and the love and the sharing that we do with our tribe. So you're part of our tribe. We love you. We want you to be happy, relaxed, and not be so stressed out over the holiday season. Everybody just have a wonderful time and be happy and enjoy your children. Ciao for now.
An empowered life has no expiration date. We're all created to do incredible things, like conquer summits, catch big waves, and live our passions. As time goes on, our bodies begin to show signs that things just aren't as they used to be. Our energy levels decline, sleep patterns shift, and recovery slows. But our bodies are masterpieces of design, holding the potential to bounce back better than ever. With X39, we achieved something remarkable in the field of wellness and regenerative science that others could not. By utilizing LifeWave's unique patented technology, X39 uses light to elevate GHKCU, a copper peptide known to support overall health and wellness. Unlike traditional light therapy, which requires external light sources, X39 uses the body's own infrared light to naturally increase vitality, enhancing the body's flow of natural energy for improvements in strength, stamina, performance, and overall health and well-being, with the simplicity of an affordable, non-invasive, non-transdermal patch. As we age, levels of these life-enhancing elements, which are associated with wellness and longevity, begin to decline. LifeWave invested 10 years into stem cell research, which resulted in over 70 patents. X39 was born to bring to the public a product that can support wellness in an entirely new way, supporting the production of younger, healthier cells with wearable light technology. Becoming a powerhouse is easier than you think. Harness your body's natural potential to maintain youthful energy and vitality, because life comes at you fast, but it doesn't have to pass you by. Live long, live well, live young. Be the light with LifeWave X39. LifeWave.
Welcome back to Chronically Healthy Life. That was an amazing interview, right?
It is, it is always so inspiring to hear people that are faced with, like she said, like life-threatening diseases that most people think are fatal, right? And she got stage 4. Stage 4, I don't think there's a stage 5. Stage 4 is the last stage. And she was able to beat it. And some of the therapies that she talked about was so amazing, like talking to herself, right?
Yeah. I guess it has a lot of to do with taking responsibility of your health. She is relying on her great team of doctors, but she's also doing her own research. She's also taking, other, supplements and herbology and all that to heal herself. So that's incredible.
And, and like you said, the positivity, I think that is key whenever you're facing any type of health issues, is always staying positive rather than delving into the negative, because the more you think about, the more you bring about. So if you're thinking about more positive thoughts, your positive healing, how this is not going to take you out, well, guess what? You're going to heal a lot faster.
So next week we are
taking a holiday. After all, it is Christmas.
For sure. So we can have a replay.
Yes.
But of course, we'll come back nice and fresh in January. So
join us here every Friday, except next Friday, it'll be a replay at 7 p.m. CST. You can watch all past episodes at watch.e360tv.com in the Vitality TV network, or of course on our YouTube channel at Chronically Healthy Life.
And if you'd like to know more about what we do and how we can help you live a chronically healthy life, visit us at our website at chronicallyhealthylife.com.
And always leave comments, questions, and suggestions for a show on our Facebook page. And, scan the QR code, book a time with us, and see how we can help you live a chronically healthy life.
We'll see you next year.
We'll see you next year.
Hello. We are Mutton Meows Rescue, a 501c3 nonprofit, foster-based, no-kill group. Mutton Meows Rescue pulls dogs and cats from surrounding shelters in the greater Houston area. We even pick up dogs and cats abandoned on the streets. Mutton Meows Rescue is foster-based rely on your donations to keep rescuing. To know more about us is to know more about our furry friends and help them find their forever homes. Come visit us at Mutts and Meows Rescue on Facebook today and decide how you can make a difference.